Hey, welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I'm your host, Liz, begrudgingly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Marcus.
That's me. And boy, do we
Welcome to the
have
show.
a lot to talk about. That's not even about Smackdown. In fact, Smackdown was the least interesting thing that happened today. Also with it being the worst Smackdown episode since May. Miriam, I said to Liz after Smackdown ended, I said we could just permanently not do Raw anymore and just do AEW. Unfortunately, Dark and Elevation are not substantial enough to be full podcasts. Maybe Impact at some point.
Well, to be totally fair, Dark might be all we have left on Tuesdays, so...
Maybe. I don't know how they're keeping up 205 Live in any way whatsoever, with all of this talent that's being released. I mean, well, let's get into the news so we can just start talking about it.
Sadly. Having so much fun. We're going to cover all the news that's not the news first.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my deepest apologies if this is not the most concise SmackDown episode ever, because I stopped taking notes after a certain point. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So let's start there.
Yeah, that it was 9:49. I was like, oh, we have 10 minutes left. Okay. Yeah, Miriam, Impact and NJPW are around, but we have to pay to see NJPW.
I would pay, and I would fucking cancel our Peacock subscription easily. Handily.
Impact we could do. Impact has been amazing lately.
Impact would be so worth our time. There might be some restructuring. I don't really know yet.
I mean, last week's Impact.
I'm not gonna promise anything.
Last week's Impact was the show of the week, so.
All right, let's get into this.
Mm-hmm.
First things first. Let's pull up the news on my phone. So Bobby Eaton passed away at the age of 62. His sister posted about it on her Facebook page. He is pretty fucking well known. He wrestled throughout the 1980s in multiple companies, including Mid-Atlantic, Memphis, Smoky Mountain, NWA, AWA, and WCW. He was one half of the Midnight Express tag team with Dennis Condrey and then Stan Lane, later managed by Jim Cornette. Thank you, Wrestle Talk, for all this information, by the way. All of our news comes from there, in case anybody was wondering, except for one piece tonight, which is probably the most obvious piece.
Yeah.
So our deepest condolences to his family in this time of untimely loss. I feel like I've been doing a lot of RIPs lately, which is great.
Yeah.
Let's start with some AEW news. It's all gonna be AEW news sooner or later, isn't it? So AEW has their announced team Rampage confirmed. I'm actually looking forward to this, minus one person. It is going to be Excalibur and Taz, along with Chris Jericho and Mark Henry. We finally get to see Mark Henry again.
Yeah. That's a very stacked commentary team. To
be totally fair here, as much as I know we all hate Chris Jericho, he's got a good voice for talking.
Oh, absolutely. He is an incredible voiceover performer, commentator, whatever. But what I see them doing is rotating out every week or maybe every match who's commentating.
But I think that they're kind of testing the waters with a stacked commentary team the way they were this past Dynamite or Dark. They had Kaz, Excalibur, some other guy from a different promotion, and Eddie.
Right. The
Worked pretty
having
well.
the was that all four through the whole episode? Maybe.
It was. Not that I know of. I don't think so.
Because I know, like, they have somebody like Ricky Starks come in and just come in for, like, a couple matches or something.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch it. More excited to watch it than literally anything else that's going on in WWE. So.
You know, funny enough, I'm more excited to watch Impact now than AEW.
I can understand that. I think AEW is just so oversaturated at this point that it's like it can be a little hard to get excited about some things going on, but Impact is like something new is happening every fucking week now.
And I feel like the AEW kind of screwed the pooch with their main event scene. Having it not be Adam Page. I understand what the storyline's gonna be, but now it's Christian?
We were talking about this, and it was interesting because like that this has been the first time that I like saw AEW do something with booking, and I was like, okay, I don't know about that one.
Right. And this isn't like WWE where they put all their money into their main event act. Like that may be not the best, but with AEW you still got Malachi Black. You've still got Miro. You've still got
Cody Rhodes.
Add Cody Rhodes. You still got, I'm trying to think of like storylines though. I guess Dark Order themselves is its own storyline. You've got the Best Friends. What's happening with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
I don't want to talk about that right now. I've had enough heartbreak for one night.
There's just a lot going on, and so if something's not great, there's still other stuff to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving quickly through, Jake Wirtz is running for Florida House of Representatives.
Let's just skip over this. This isn't news. Oh, who cares? This is a wrestling show. He's not involved in wrestling.
Unsurprisingly, he's running as a Republican for the 2022 midterm elections. In case you don't want to vote for him.
Move on. Let's go
It's
past.
good to laugh about something.
He's not working there anymore. He doesn't matter. He's not a wrestling official anymore. He's just some guy.
About it. I can talk about it.
He's some guy now.
Okay, so moving on. Tony Nese and Kiera Hogan were both backstage at AEW Dynamite this week.
Oh.
Which is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Tony Nese paving the way.
Yeah.
Interesting to see him, utilized.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on to some WWE news. Not the WWE news you expect. We'll get into that. Kaylee Ray. Always fuck that up. Kaylee Ray is at the PC. Doing something. Trying not to get fired, I guess. That's cool. I suppose.
Yeah. She'll probably be the next contender for the women's title.
Yeah. And Pete Dunne's contract is up soon. In addition to Adam Cole's.
Yeah. Adam Cole's is already up. But he has an agreement to continue working through SummerSlam. Or through the weekend of SummerSlam.
Correct.
But Pete's is a little more up in the air on like what's gonna happen. I have a strong feeling he's gonna re-sign. Because he hasn't quite reached his potential like Adam Cole has on NXT. And yeah, I feel like they're kind of still unwrapping him. if this was the main roster, I'd be like, okay, it's so up in the air on what's going to happen. But now with NXT, they like to explore people entirely and kind of get everyone to meet their full extent before they're poached or released.
Poached is one word to use for both of the scenarios.
Yeah.
Speaking of news that you expected to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So the WWE has released a fuck ton of people. They released the fuck ton of people in the middle of SmackDown, which made SmackDown just completely joyless and totally boring as fuck.
Do you have a whole list? Because I've got one right here.
Got a whole list.
Okay.
Got my list in front of me. So released was Bronson Reed, Jake Atlas, Ari Sterling, Kona Reeves, Leon Ruff, Stefan Smith, Uriah Smith, Asher Hale, Giant Zangier, Mercedes Martinez, Bobby Fish, and fucking Tyler Rust.
You say Kona Reeves?
He was on the list, so I assume I did.
Okay. It's not like you can't even say this is just business at this point. Like it's not. I don't know why. This is, as Denise Salcedo worded it on Twitter, this is a death of a brand we're looking at right now. Like something is massively changing behind the scenes.
Between the way that they're destroying 205 Live by doing what they've done here, and once again having one of the people that was fucking cut have a match tonight, that's fucked up.
In all fairness, he's not having a match tonight. It was pre-recorded, like all of 205 Live,
okay, well.
But it's still.
To have Bobby Fish be in the middle of a fucking feud, to have Bronson Reed be on the brink of getting called up,
Mm-hmm.
Have Tyler Rust taken away in the middle of what seemed to be a massive fucking brand or
Faction
that they were building,
which just debuted a few weeks ago.
It's
like Triple H and Shawn Michaels are probably seething backstage because, like, you can tell they have zero say in this. They have none. And it's just like Bronson Reed, they have worked so hard to push this guy and give him this spotlight. For what? For some other company to pick him up. Tyler Rust, he was a protege in the fucking making. He was ready to be in that spotlight, work his way up, and now nothing. Bobby Fish
feels like
Bobby Fish, who has so much experience, could be an extremely valuable person to have backstage, just mentoring younger talent. Gone.
I think I'm half mad about Bobby being gone because it's like, other fucking upstate New York wrestlers do I have now?
We've got the Butcher and the Blade. They're from Buffalo.
It's Western New York, that doesn't count.
I think is Daniel Garcia from New York? No, that's not the right Daniel Garcia.
Does he even have a Wikipedia page? He seems pretty fucking fresh.
He does. Cause he's got a whole background. Let me see. He's from Buffalo too. Yeah, cause he had experience. Where else did he wrestle? Career. He's wrestled a lot of places. AEW, GCW. A little bit in WWE this year. Wow. Evolve. Beyond. and among others. So, but anyway.
It's kind of made, like, I don't want to say jokes, but we made comments and everyone from 205 Live was released that was like, fuck, are they folding 205 Live? And then we kind of were like, well, they still have these guys, and we were like, yeah, sure. And then they cut half of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay. And I should have known something was up the moment they said Kushida was going to be on 205 Live tonight, and I was like, curious.
I mean, I knew something was up when fucking Drake Maverick was on 205 Live last week, 2 weeks ago.
And it's just, not only that, but like, take people away in the middle of feuds, to take people away in the middle of action unveilings, and then to also have rumors about calling up certain people, it's like, what the fuck are you doing with NXT now?
You can tell Nick Khan does not watch NXT one bit. He probably had a list on the payroll and went through names and said, I don't recognize him. I don't recognize him. I don't recognize her. I don't recognize him. And then just fired them. Mercedes Martinez too. That is so unfortunate. Getting a concussion.
She got fucking concussed.
Yeah.
They said, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah. She would have been great for the main roster too.
I feel like the thing also that's just so frustrating is it's like, you have watched this company for so long, to see it all of a sudden just self-immolating. It's like, what?
You know what? You know what? They saw we did an AEW show and said,
Marcus.
we gotta like fucking, it's a way to grieve, making fucking comedy, laughing about it.
It just sucks. I'm not like, not only did for them to, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
For them to announce all of these releases
during SmackDown
in the middle of a show.
Yeah.
So, like, beyond fucked up.
I told you this while we were watching, but Bronson Reed was probably sitting at home, like, literally, because I know he watches SmackDown. I know he watches, like, all the brands. He was probably sitting at home watching SmackDown, got the call, and just immediately turned it off, like, nope, I can't do this. And Bronson also tweeted, let me get his exact tweet so I don't jumble his words right now. He tweeted immediately after his release was announced. He said, just got released from at WWE. This monster is back on the loose. You don't know what you've just done. And he added AEW, Impact, NJPW, and Ring of Honor. God, he's gonna kill it anywhere else.
A lot of these guys are going to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of the people that they fucking cut are incredible wrestlers.
Oh yeah,
like, beyond incredible.
You want to
like,
do? You want to do a little fantasy booking right now?
I mean, Tyler Russ needs to go to NJPW. I think that's like where he belongs.
Although I could see him on AEW in a tag team with Pac. That could be fun.
And Andrade finally kicks Pac out of Death Triangle.
Yeah.
It's his fucking way.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure Penta and Phoenix are like clinging to Pac, like, don't fucking take him. Boy.
Yeah.
I think also the thing for me is also it's like AEW is just like this place of life now where it's like people are coming in, they're testing out new talents, they're giving new talent title shots, they're not redoing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, WWE is just like this fucking graveyard now.
Yeah.
Fucking depressing.
Yeah. And it's a company where it's very obvious that the management does not give a shit about their quote unquote lesser brands.
I really hope that something comes out that says that Triple H and Shawn did not know about this.
I mean, Triple H has already said he has no say in all of this stuff. In call-ups and releases, he has no say.
I guess my thing is like, and I've said this a couple times to a couple of people now, but like NXT at least felt like this place that was like safe from all that shit. Like Leon Ruff was gone for a while, but I didn't think shit about it because I was like, well, I trust NXT. Like they're not gonna just fucking cut him because he's been gone. You know.
And yet.
So it's like, I would hate to find out that like, I know that Triple H has his problems. I know that Shawn Michaels probably has his problems.
Yeah.
But I would hate to find out that they were complicit in everything too.
Right. And I mentioned this to you while we were watching that it seems like Triple H and Nick Khan or Vince McMahon, whoever is in charge of the releases, it seems like they have some kind of agreement where they can't release a champion. Like that's like the one thing Triple H said you cannot touch. Because I can guarantee you, if MSK did not have those titles, they would have been in the releases too. They fit the same kind of characters, same kind of archetype that most of the other releases share. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if found out that Trips kept the titles on them so that they could not be released. I could see him doing something like that.
Now it's like I'm getting nervous about fucking Randy being gone because like I was telling you, like it feels like when a murderer kills someone and they're like, hey, we haven't seen this guy around in a while, and the other guy's like, oh, I think he's coming back like tomorrow. I think he's gonna be here tomorrow. And it's like, okay. And that's what they're doing with Randy, where they're like, he'll be back next week. He'll be back next week. And it's like, no, you killed him. You murdered him. And I know you did. You had to have.
I mean, is Riddle mentioning
The
Randy
last person
anymore?
we saw him with.
Is Riddle still mentioning Randy?
Nope.
Is he?
I don't want to be right about this, by the way, in case anyone's wondering.
I genuinely don't know. I don't know if he's
Riddle has not mentioned Randy in a minute.
I know he's been doing his moves, but I don't know if he's mentioning him. Commentary might be though. But
I have not heard Randy Orton mentioned once in the past couple of weeks.
There's no point in speculating like who's next or anything, because as we've seen, anybody is expendable at this point, according to management. We hope for the best for everyone who was released. We hope that they can find employment elsewhere, because everyone on that list is talented as hell.
Swear to God, I'll be watching.
Mm-hmm.
This shit doesn't stop that, and it shouldn't stop that for any of y'all, because at the end of the day, these people are going to. I mean, I don't know if Bobby's going to keep wrestling, but
he might be
outside of him.
He might be like a backstage person.
Outside of him, a lot of these people are going to end up in different brands, doing different shit, and this should not be for any reason a reason that you stop watching them.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to find. A lot of these indie promotions too are doing online shows and stuff like that. So
except Ring of Honor.
Please keep watching them.
For some reason, Ring of Honor is very hard to watch.
We can watch reruns, but I don't even know how to watch regular Ring of Honor.
If you go on their website, it's like it premieres Sunday on this channel, Saturday on this channel, Friday on this channel, Thursday on this channel. It's like, and then they have like Women Wednesdays, where they have their women's division.
I mean, on our TV, I don't know what channel it is, but there's a channel that we have
Stadium.
where we can watch where we can watch Ring of Honor, but it's like a marathon of Ring of Honor, and I'm like,
yeah,
this isn't all new.
I think that's their main channel. I think.
I have watched episodes that are like, well, next week on our whatever episode, and I'm like, oh, this was last week's episode.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah. I guarantee most of these guys will be picked up elsewhere because these are hugely talented guys. Like Tyler Rust would 100% be going somewhere else. Jake Atlas, WWE did not even scratch the surface on him. Ari Sterling, Asher Hale, they're definitely going to be picked up elsewhere.
Things. One, lest we forget, one of Jake Atlas's last matches, he hit a sickening fucking springboard tornado DDT or cartwheel DDT. I want to remember that one real quick. Second of all, there was a second of all. Yeah. Hang in there. Second of all, don't make fucking rumors about other people.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody that watches us is doing that. But I heard rumors that there was like Naomi leaving.
Yeah.
So don't, not from people that I know. People that I know mention them, but
this is
that was it.
This is
people making those rumors on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's fucked up because some of these people don't know until they see it on Twitter. This
is essentially it's people getting fired from their jobs. You wouldn't speculate about like is this person fired at your own job? Like have some respect for these people. They're now unemployed, and those who are still employed in that company are probably scared that they'll be next.
Again, I just want to mention this does not go for anybody that I'm friends with. I know that on Twitter there have been some rumors.
Yeah. We'll be keeping an eye out if anybody else is released, but Sean Ross Sapp did say that this is the end of the planned releases.
I'm genuinely shocked that nobody on that list was from the Breakouts tournament. I am beyond shocked.
Yeah. This is so bad, but Jake Atlas tweeted 7 hours ago saying that today is his 5-year wrestling anniversary. Man, that sucks.
Before we jump into the matches and promos, I'm gonna once again reiterate I took shitty fucking notes.
Yeah, it was very hard.
After the Tamina and Knox match, I took shitty fucking notes, and that's just that. Y'all are gonna have to deal with it. I'm sorry.
It was very hard to pay attention when all this stuff was coming in and stay engaged. But we tried our best. We definitely tried our best.
We did. Gave it the old college try, if you will.
Also, since April this year, somebody tweeted, since April, 41 people have been released from WWE. Like, there has got to be some kind of documentary or something in the future that is basically a tell-all of all of this. Whether somebody writes a book.
What's happening right now?
What?
What's happening? They're paring down because they're gonna sell the fucking company. And we're gonna find this out in a couple of months. As I think it was Sean Ross Sapp who said this a couple months ago. Then 6 months, he's going to have a reason for all of these releases.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that people have speculated so far is that they're selling the fucking company, and I guarantee you they are because Vince is too old. I guarantee you, Stephanie does not want to run the whole fucking company. Trips does not want to run the whole fucking company. Shane is Shane, so they're not going to have him run the company. They're going to sell it. They're selling this shit. And would I be shocked if they fold 205 and NXT just so that they have two main roster promotions? And that's it? I would not be shocked. It wouldn't be. And I hate to fucking say that because NXT is the only watchable fucking show that they have right now.
Yeah, and the worst part about that is that NXT is getting the lowest numbers out of all of the brands, and it's like it sucks the most because it's getting the least investment from management. I mean, how are you gonna
Here's the thing.
how are you gonna keep up the program if you're tearing it apart like this?
At least for me, and maybe it's different for other people. I don't know. I'm sure it is because there's got to be something. Like at this point in the WWE, anybody on the main roster we've seen go for at least one title a million times in the last couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
In the last year, at least. I mean, you started watching with me last March, or 2 Marches ago.
Yeah.
90% of the people that you saw in those first few episodes have either been released or have gone for a title recently and are still sort of trying to churn that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
As much as Roman's storyline is interesting to me, as much as I am excited to watch Bianca and Sasha, I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck about any of the main roster storylines right now.
Miriam asked, does Nick Khan know NXT UK exists? Because they've been pretty untouched, which is surprising. I can guarantee what they see NXT UK as, if they know it exists, is developmental for NXT. Because, I mean, that's what Kaylee Ray is doing. She started NXT UK, and now she's coming over to NXT Prime.
Yeah, let's keep this NXT UK shit on the down low, because we don't want anyone knowing about this, because they're gonna be next.
No, I think they could do with some clearinghouse there. They've got some names they can get rid of. Sorry.
Joe Coffey.
That was not something I should have said. Nobody deserves to get fired.
Joe Coffey can lose his fucking job. That's fine. I'll stand by that one. I'll sit back. However,
also,
come anywhere near Aoife Valkyrie.
My
hands with Sid Scala personally.
No, most people don't deserve to get fired from their jobs.
Most people don't, but Joe Coffey does.
So somebody tweeted they put NXT up against AEW, completely hanged the product to try to steal ratings and beat AEW, failed, and now release a ton of talent but pay fucking Bill Goldberg.
That's some refreshing truth right there.
Yeah. Yeah. We see where WWE's priorities lie, and it's not in their upcoming talent. Anyway, let's get into the matches and promos. This was
real quick.
What was that?
In fact, I put so much lemon juice in this cocktail that or if you can call this a cocktail, I raised the glass to my face and it burnt my eyes.
Oh, God.
Love lemon juice.
God. All right. So this was not a good episode of Smackdown, whether you paid attention or not. It was not good. Worst episode since May. So we started off immediately. Sasha Banks comes out to the ring, which was a nice surprise, seeing her open the show rather than Cena or Roman.
Looked incredible.
Yeah, her gear was impeccable today. So she came out and said, Tampa, the boss is back in business. It is boss time on Friday Night SmackDown. I came back for my spotlight that I deserve. I came back for my spotlight that I created. I promise I will never let anyone steal my spotlight again. And then she played the video of what happened between her and Bianca. She said, it was so easy. I've been watching Bianca make mistake after mistake. I decided to make a statement and rescue our SmackDown Women's Champion. She'd be nothing without me. When Bianca started crying at Mania because she was standing across from the greatest of all time, anyone else would say thank you, but she had to diss me. While I was sitting at home, I thought about the disrespect. I came back for one thing, to make Bianca pay. Bianca Belaire comes out. She said, you think I'm nothing without you? Last time I checked, you were literally begging me to choose you after I won Royal Rumble so we could main event Mania. You don't want me to shine. I've been shining and representing. Sasha exits the ring as Bianca gets in. Bianca was like, "Oh, you leave the ring? Was it something I said? Are you going to take another 4 months off?" Sasha says, "I can do what I want when I want." Bianca's like, "Yeah, you're right. You're one of the greatest. If you want this, it's on." Zelena Vega comes out and says, "This is not happening right now. Bianca, is that braid tied too tight?" Bianca said, "Don't you think about stepping in the ring?" Zelena says, "Fine, I won't, but let me remind you, you accepted my challenge. I am the moment. What do you want to do?" Sasha says, "Yeah, what are you going to do? Accept her challenge?" Bianca says, "She wasn't even talking to you. I'll see you at SummerSlam. And Zelena, I didn't forget about the word I gave you. I'll fight you tonight." And then, which, by the way, why are we getting Zelena in this title picture and not like Liv Morgan? Liv deserves it a lot more. I mean, she had this whole storyline before Money in the Bank. Give her some kind of title shot. Like Tony Storm.
Is Lena starting to get on my fucking nerves just a tiny bit?
Well,
Hair.
the character is getting on my nerves. I still love Zelena as a performer. I still think she's very good. What was that face?
So I don't mean to spoil stuff that you're going to talk about later. Finn's whole monologue?
Yeah.
I mentioned NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So they posted it on WWE on Fox, on their Twitter. And they start the quote after that. They quote him, and they start the quote after that part.
So basically cutting out NXT.
It starts at, "That Finn is dead."
Oh. Oh, God.
Woo!
Finn is dead. Alright.
This is Balor now.
So we then go to Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio backstage. Rey says, "Why'd you challenge Jay to a match tonight? I know you're hungry. Now we have a title match. Now that we have a title match, we have to be more strategic. We can't risk a loss going to SummerSlam. That would ruin our momentum." Dom's like, "Don't worry, I won't let you down. And unlike you, I won't need your help." And then we get Jey Uso versus Dominic Mysterio, which was a pretty fun match.
One of the few matches I took real notes for.
Yeah.
Mind you, also not the worst part. But the thing about tonight was that I was taking really good notes tonight. I was in the zone, on top of shit, and not miss moves. Then God sat down and said, about that. So Jey misses a strike to the face of Dom. Dom ends up getting a nice handful on Jey. There's a shoulder tackle to Dom, and then a drop kick to Jey from Dom. You get a forearm to the jaw of Jey, and a tornado sort of arm drag to him as well. Then runs at Jey, gets an elbow to the face. There's a backbreaker to Dom, and then a spine buster. Dom then receives a hard right from Jey. He gets sent into the barricade, and there's a sunset flip that Jey gets sent into the barricade. Penguin slides out of the ring like Rey would do. Sunset flips Jey into the barricade, which I thought was really awesome because this is the whole thing that Dom was saying was I know some shit too. I have got a couple tricks up my sleeve too. Yeah. He's improving on his father's moves.
Dom killed it this match. He was great.
Yeah. So Jey lifts Dom for a Samoan drop. Dom elbows his way free. There's a neck breaker to Jey. A springboard moonsault onto Jey, and then a failed enziguri to Dominic. Jey gets driven into the second turnbuckle. Dom then utilizes a drop toe hold to set Jey up for the 619, gets it successfully, goes up top. Then Jimmy goes to attack him. Rey hits Jimmy with a seated senton off the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic is distracted by this. Goes down. like crossbody Jay or something. Jay avoids it, hits Dom with a super kick, gets the frog splash off, wins against Dominic, and smelling a little frustration on Dominic's part.
I don't know. This, I feel like they did this intentionally so that we could be like, ooh, what's this gonna, what kind of seeds is this gonna sow? But they'll probably make it like nothing happened next week. Because Dom could just be like, oh, thanks for helping me. We got our match. Yeah. Did you finish the match? Okay. So then we get Edge backstage. He said, Seth Rollins is a selfish bastard. If he can't be Universal Champion, I can't. Our issues go way back. When Seth gets here, I'll show him what a rotten, selfish bastard I can be. And then we get Kingsuke Nakamura versus Apollo Crews for a number one contender match for a title that Apollo Crews has, because for some reason they're doing this now on Smackdown. I thought Smackdown was better than this, but apparently not. Just bullshit.
Get a shoulder tackle to Shinsuke and a kick to the face of Apollo. Then a drop knee to Apollo. Apollo drops Shinsuke on the top rope and then clotheslines him basically upside down. A spinebuster to Shinsuke and a knee to the midsection of Apollo, as well as a failed high knee. Apollo dodges the high knee. Shinsuke hits his knee into the turnbuckle instead. We get a kick to the head of Nakamura and then a kick to the head of Apollo. And then a drop kick to Apollo. Nakamura wants a gutbuster. Doesn't get all of it, but we act like he does. Anyways, there's a knee to the face of Apollo, and then as he covers, Aziz pulls Shinsuke from the cover, forcing the DQ. Shinsuke does not seem too fucking upset, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just had a thought, based on a tweet Joey Janela made. He tweeted just absolutely embarrassing. Somebody replied to it saying GCW is going to be stacked in 90 days. He said 30. Because the light that we can look at with this is these guys have NXT contracts. So they'll...
Was it only a 30-day non-compete?
It's only 30-day for NXT. So...
Start up the NJPW subscription now.
So Tyler Rust, Bobby Fish, everyone else, they're all going to be free from WWE in 30 days, so hopefully some companies will be jumping on them. Can't wait to see where they go. But anyway, after that we get an interview with Paul Heyman. Kale goes up to the door. Paul comes out and he says, what do you want? What transpired last week with John Cena, who is not only thieving Roman's oxygen, the John Cena who is now thieving a title match. The Tampa Bay Schmuccaneers decided to sign Tom Brady. I come in from behind with a kendo stick and sign my name on the contract after whacking Tom Brady with it. Do I get the billions of dollars? The claim he should be facing John Cena at SummerSlam is ludicrous. Letting John Cena slide his way into a title match he doesn't deserve. Roman Reigns has nothing to say about Cena, nor to you. I'm sure you've heard this before. I am not in the mood. And the camera pans and you see Big E fucking standing there with a Money in the Bank briefcase with a beaming smile on his face, and he's just cackling.
Speaking of cackling, I had a funny joke that I was going to tell earlier, but because everything's falling apart, I wasn't going to.
Okay.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark. What's the healthiest version of Roman Reigns?
You went quiet, and I was hoping to God that the call cut out. Is it Romaine Reigns?
How could you take my joke from me?
No! No! Oh, man. She's gone. Oh. It's okay. It's okay. You're a very funny person. You'll come up with another one in like 15 minutes. Oh. Oh, that's not nice. Can you tilt the camera, tilt the laptop down? So I can see your face and so everyone else can see your face. There we go. Again, you'll come up with another one in like 15 minutes.
I'll personally never make another joke for as long as I live.
No. Because I just vowed to personally never interrupt one of your jokes ever again.
You'll never have another one to interrupt.
Oh. Okay. So after that, we get Tamina versus Knox. In another fucking stupid match.
The last match I took good notes on. So she immediately sets up for the Samoan drop, but Tegan gets free. She clotheslines Tamina a couple of times, and then Tamina clotheslines the shit out of Tegan. She tosses Knox into the corner and goes to splash her, but Knox avoids. Kicks her into the corner, sentons onto her twice. Cannonballs. We get a super kick to Knox and a setup for another Samoan drop, and then Shotzi, who's ringside with the tank, shoots the tank and distracts Tamina enough to let Knox roll her up to win.
Yeah, that's really it. I'm reading an article from PW Insider right now.
Hey, stop that.
That is apparently I'll just read the article. As Dave Scherer and I discussed on the We Don't Need No Name show this week, there has been lots of talk internally of major changes for the NXT brand, including a new logo. This is an hour ago. An hour ago they said this. A new logo, new lighting, a focus on younger talents, and a different format to the TV shows. This house cleaning tonight appears to be a part of those changes. How are you going to focus on younger talent if the younger talent is fired?
Bronson Reed, basically our age. Asher Hale, probably not that much older than us.
Watch, she's like 40.
Ari Sterling, definitely not that much older than us.
It's like if NXT is a developmental brand, what are you developing them for if you're just releasing them? God, and I know these changes are gonna be awful.
Oh, absolutely, because if the main roster people are starting to dig their hands into it, it's gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So after that match, we had Zelena Vega with Adam Pearce and Sony Deville, and this promo pissed me the fuck off. Oh my god. Do you know why this promo pissed me off? I'll get to it once I start talking about it, but can you assume why this pissed me off?
Because, I know why it pissed you off.
Okay.
They were like, we can't... Oh, no, go on, actually.
So...
You take it.
Zelena Vega's like she comes in and she's like, I want my title match. Come on, let's book it. And then Pierce says, we can't have a last minute title match without promoting it. But that's not true. That is not fucking fucking true. 'Cause how many times on Raw have there been last-minute title matches? Bobby Lashley has had at least 2. Think of how many Drew McIntyre has had. Like, oh my god, this has been done so many times, and why? Why are they going back on it now? Like, why are... Here, wait, let me grab the official rules. Yeah, just give me 1 second. So I got the WWE Book of Rules. Well, there you go. It says right here. It says Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville can come up with ways to skate out of a title match whenever they want. There you go. It's so aggravating. Why couldn't they throw in this title match? When is Zelena gonna have another one? Just book it. It's not gonna hurt anyone. It's so stupid. But anyway, moving on from that. After that promo, we had Edge. Oh wait, I didn't even finish with that. Zelena says, I challenged Bianca, and she accepted twice now. So it's been a week. It's been a week since she last accepted, so you couldn't promote this? You couldn't come up with any kind of promotion? Oh my god. Sonya said just because she accepted doesn't mean the contract is modified. Bianca doesn't make the matches, but she accepts challenges.
Doesn't count.
Like, does a challenger have to fucking run it by management before they can challenge for a title? They have to fucking talk to Adam Pearce if fucking Goldberg wanted to run in on Bobby Lashley's and challenge him, did he have to run it by Adam Pearce first? It's, oh my god. So then Pearce says, have a match with Bianca tonight and prove yourself. Prove yourself against the fucking champion. Why? It should have been Sasha versus Bianca. Prove yourself against the challenger. Holy fuck. And then Sonya said, you'll get the winner of Bianca and Sasha at SummerSlam. Why not make it next week? Bianca accepted Zelena before Sasha. Oh my god, I'm so bad with this whole promo. So, I'm still holding the fucking rule book. So Edge then comes out to the ring, so, moving to a better promo. Edge comes out and says, Seth is nowhere near here. To be honest, it wouldn't be well for me. With what I do, I'd end up in jail. I was about to let the past be the past until he ruined my title shot at Money in the Bank, but I would have done the same. When I look at Seth, I see a mirror of my past. This does not end well for either one of us. But it's going to end. If he were here tonight, it would end. And Seth, you hear him cackling, and he appears on the Titantron. He says, if it wasn't the ultimate opportunity himself, you think you're something else. Except last week when I smashed your face with the camera. You're right, Edge. We're a lot alike. We're drawn together in the inevitable dance. You always have to have a plan B. Edge says, I've got a plan B. How about you and I one-on-one at SummerSlam? And Seth says, cool your jets. I've got you wrapped around my little finger. I call the shots. You and me at SummerSlam? Let me think about it. I've got a lot going on. Mulling over. Maybe you should think about it. What are you getting yourself into? You know what it's like to have my boot on the back of your neck. What do you think is going to happen when I stomp somebody's head into the mat whose neck has been repaired 3 times? Your little comeback, your career is probably done. I don't know what future you're going to have as a husband or a father. Edge says, you think you're the mastermind? You're just some fever dream of a televangelist. You keep circling back to me. It never works out for you. You didn't finish the job in 2014 when you had the chance. Seth said, you don't get to spin the narrative, pal. Edge says, you know you're trying to walk in my footsteps. You can't fill them. You're just Edge light, kid. Seth says, I'm not a light version of you. I'm better than you, and you know it. You're on. And then we go to backstage where we see Finn Balor for an interview. Kayla asks a question, but Finn says, Kayla, stop. Last week, I was this close to signing a contract until Corbin stuck his nose where it didn't belong. A contract that got signed by Cena. As for Corbin, he should stay out of my business. He's going to need to learn to have some honor and integrity. I'm going to teach that to him the hard way. After Corbin, I have a bone to pick with Cena. And then we get Street Profits versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And it was this match where we got the news of all of the releases. So Liz's notes won't be so great for this.
We had Montez versus Roode to start. There was a dropkick to Roode and then Ziggler, and then a slam to Montez, and then Ziggler got in and he covered. He didn't really do much, I guess, because then Robert Roode got in and there's an enziguri to Roode, and Ziggler comes in and Dawkins comes in and there's a clothesline to Ziggler and then a corkscrew splash and then pancakes Roode and then a famous to Dawkins and then an anointment to Ziggler and a frog splash from Ford and Profits win.
Yep, that's about it.
I got 3 matches of good notes and 3 matches of shitty notes. So.
Also, remember when I said WWE released 41 people since April? You want a total for the year?
I saw the total, at least since last Black Wednesday.
For this year, it's 52 for 2021.
Apparently, what I saw was that apparently since the first Black Wednesday, it's been 84.
God.
The only reason that they still have a roster is because they keep hiring people that they then cut.
Right. And some of these people are getting re-signed, but not many. But right after that match, we then go right into Bianca Belair versus Lena Vega.
Yeah. Zelena dodges Bianca, sending her into the post. We get double knees to Bianca. Bianca gets into the ground and pound on Zelena. Jimmy, I'm looking at you. Starts slamming Zelena into the corner after corner. She then lifts Zelena up, but Zelena rolls under her. It's an octopus on Bianca over the ropes. Bianca then shoves Zelena off the apron. Sasha comes out for literally nothing besides one out. Bianca lifts Zelena, has no success on it. Zelena goes face first into the mat, and then she's slammed into the mat. We get a moonsault onto Vega. Vega gets the octopus again, but Bianca turns that around, suplexes her instead, rolls through for the vertical suplex, but Vega counters. My notes are funny because I had little things interspersed of just how much I was fucking hating watching this. I'm just oh, Elizabeth, you're so over. Bianca then slams Lena into the barricade, and we get a KOD to win.
Yeah. Also, there were 2 wrestlers who were released who had matches tonight in 205 Live.
Asher Hale and Ari Sterling.
No, because we know one's Leon Ruff. The other one is Ari Sterling. Yeah. So after that, we have Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Paul whispers to Roman, Balor's fighting Corbin. Roman just says, I'm interested. And then we get Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin.
Finn gets bashed into the buckles by Corbin on the apron. Is thrown into an outside-in suplex. Pele kicks Corbin. Gets into the ground upon himself. Jimmy, I'm still looking at you. Stomp to Corbin.
Yeah.
Oh, that note means. Then he starts kicking Corbin's knee, hits him with a sling blade, then drop kicks him, hits the coup de grace to win. So I'm not sure. I've heard this recently. It's the coup de grace and not the coup de grace, which would make sense because I know how it's spelled.
Mm-hmm.
I've only ever heard the NXT people saying it. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not gonna stop.
Also, real quick, you know how John Cena was apparently not at the show because of Suicide Squad?
He was at the show.
He was, but they talked about it that he wasn't. They said he wasn't there because of Suicide Squad, and it turns out he was. Fought in a dark match. They could have had the pop of having him come out during the main event, but no. For some reason they just decided to have him in a fucking dark match.
Thought he was going to.
Yeah, I thought when Roman, we'll get to it actually. We'll get to it. So after that match, we got Roman. Roman comes out. And he says to Finn, "My special counsel addressed my position on last week. I understand why you're upset. You need to remember I tried to help you. I tried to give you an opportunity. When you come out here on my show, keep my name out of your mouth." And he just throws the mic at Finn's chest. And Finn just shoves him out of the ring and gives the finger guns. Boom.
It was so funny because he pushes Roman and then does that and holds it while Roman like slowly turns around. I was like, if somebody fucking pushed me that hard and I turn around and he's doing this shit, I'd be like, fuck.
So the Usos then attack Finn. They give a Samoan drop to Finn, and Jay dives on Finn, but Finn moves out of the way, and Jay instead dives on Jimmy. Finn fights back. He suicide dives into the Usos, gets back into the ring, and does another finger guns. Roman then walks back. They start a brawl in the middle of the ring, and when he started walking back, I thought that was when John Cena was going to jump out of nowhere, attack Roman. We could have gotten a cool John Cena Finn team up against the Usos. That would have been fun. That would have been fun as hell. Finn gives a sling blade to Roman. Usos then attack Finn. Superman punch to Finn, and Uso splash. And then Roman in the middle of the ring gives a guillotine to Finn, and Finn fucking taps. Could have just passed out. You didn't need to fucking tap. And that's the recap. It's a recap of tonight's episode. You want to move on to the best of the night?
I guess.
If there's anything that you can even call the best. Oh god. So best of the night. After the best of the night, we'll be doing a Q&A section. So leave your questions in the chat now if you would like to ask us a question. It can be about anything. Wrestling, not wrestling. Smackdown, not Smackdown.
At this point, preferably not wrestling.
Not WWE.
Yeah, that one too.
But
Can we call it wrestling anymore?
huh?
Can we call that wrestling anymore?
But before actually we get to the best of the night, we gotta give an update on the top 10 wrestlers of pro wrestling for this week. So, this is across all major promotions. Starting at number 10. Sorry, my mind's like all over the place. The knockout women's champion from Impact, Deonna Purrazzo. Number 9, one half of the AEW Tag Team Champions, Nick Jackson. Number 8, one half of the Impact Tag Team Champions, Dot Gallows. Number 7, the other half of the AEW Tag Team Champions, Matt Jackson. Number 6, the current TNT Champion, Miro. Number 5, the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Number 4, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. Number 3, the WWE Champion, Bobby Lashley. Number 2, he's on AEW, Darby Allin. Number 1, the AAA Champion, the TNA World Champion, the Impact World Champion, the AEW World Champion, Kenny by God Omega. Also, just want to quickly say that this list is based purely on wins and losses. It has nothing to do with our opinion. Purely wins and losses. And Bobby and Bianca have really pulled ahead of Roman because they've been defending during the WWE live shows. Whereas Roman has been losing every single WWE live show because they've been doing 6-man tags between the Mysterios and Cena against the Usos and Roman. And yes, I do count those for the records. Alright, so best of the night. You want to get into that?
I guess.
Alright, so promo of the night. Let me quickly run through and just see. There's Edge. Oh, Heyman's is good. Yeah. I have my pick for promo of the night if you want me to just say it.
Oh, just hit me.
You'll probably agree. It's Paul Heyman's interview.
The Schmuccaneers?
The Schmuccaneers. And Big E fucking cackling.
Salute.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Alright, so that's our promo of the night. Wrestler of the night now. I know who I'm gonna pick. You want me to just say it? You'll probably agree once again. It's Dominic Mysterio.
Everything else was really short and like, I don't know if it was maybe just my attention span, but it just didn't feel like anything.
Yeah, I mean, Shinsuke versus Apollo and Knox versus Tamina were both very short and distraction finishes, so you can't really get a good performance from there. Profits and Dirty Dogs, that was a below average for them match. Bianca versus Zelena. Bianca was trying to struggle against Zelena, like trying to make up for her and her. There were a couple times where Zelena kind of botched some stuff, and Bianca had to like make up for it. And then Finn didn't have to do a whole lot. All right, so match of the night. We will probably agree on this, but going from worst to best, this was bad. This was bad. So, worst. With a 3 out of 10. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Apollo Crews. The DQ finish was fucking stupid. Why have this match in the first place? It was dumb. Next, another 3 out of 10. Tamina versus Knox. Distraction finish. It was dumb, super short. What's the point? With a 4 out of 10, Bianca Belaire versus Lena Vega. It was a fine match. Nothing too exceptional. Bianca was pretty good, but that's really it. With a 5 out of 10, Montez, the Street Profits versus the Dirty Dogs. It was a decent match. Wasn't exceptional. This was also when we got the news of the releases, so it was very hard to pay attention. But based on what we did see and pay attention to, it's a 5 out of 10. Next up, another 5 out of 10. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. It was like I was hoping we get a whole feud going here, and it seemed like it was just thrown away in a span of 5 minutes. It was pretty lame. And then lastly, match of the night. Jey Uso versus Dominic Mysterio, 6 out of 10. It was fun. It was a fun match. Had us popped. That was probably the most we popped for the entire episode, aside from Paul Heyman's interview. Yeah, really it. That's our match of the night, if you agree. Oh, did we lose her? I think we lost her. Damn. Right at the end. Oh. We lost you? You
Get back on.
You didn't want to end the call?
No, I tried.
Oh.
I'm currently not on the call.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think the Wi-Fi is fucked today. Make some room for you. You want to pull up here? You want the WWE Book of Rules? Oh. A little screwy now. Okay, can we get... Oh, actually, this is good because we're on each side. This works.
Oh wait, I found a new rule. Right here. It says, Mr. McMahon gets to release anybody at any time, whatever matters.
Oh, okay.
It's what he wants.
You want to grab the cat? The cat's right over there.
Kitty.
Kitty.
Kitty cat.
All right. But I don't know if you heard me what I picked for.
Heard,
okay. Match of the night: Jey Uso versus Dominic Mysterio.
I would totally.
Cool. All right. So to run it back, promo of the night: Paul Heyman's interview. Wrestler of the night: Dominic Mysterio. Match of the night: Jey Uso versus Dominic Mysterio. You want to answer some questions? I think we've only got one. I don't think there's any comments on YouTube.
Okay. Ooh, please don't lick my toes. That's weird.
All right. So, Mariam asked, because it's been an awful night, what's a movie you guys liked that you didn't think you would like? Oh, I've got one. I've got one.
Okay.
So I watched a movie last year called Yakuza Apocalypse that had the most ridiculous name, it had the dumbest poster, but it was like, it's one of the best Japanese movies I've ever seen. It's just so fun. It's like vampire Yakuza. That's it.
I think mine was a movie. Is it? It's this movie called American Animals.
For me.
Oh, yeah. It's this movie called American Animals, and it's like half documentary, half movie.
Yeah.
And
based on a real story.
Mark recommended it, so we watched it together. And I don't really like we don't have the same tastes in movies a lot of the times.
Not really.
So when he recommended that, I was like, I don't know. We watched it. Best fucking movie I've ever seen. Like, across the board. One of the best movies I think I've ever seen.
I think it came out 2018, 2017. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's about a couple college students who try and steal artwork
from the campus library or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Literally just because they're bored.
Yeah, and they're like, what can we do? Rob something? Okay.
Yeah. It's a fantastic movie. Definitely recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. What's like your favorite movie of all time?
Scream. Scream is the best movie of all time. I got into an argument with my future brother-in-law. Oh wait, was it with him? Might not have been.
Brother-in-law?
No.
My sister's husband?
About the which is better, Scream
or Saw? No, it was your future brother.
Okay. Which is better, Scream or Saw? And I have gotten to an argument of whether Scream is better than The Thing, and that tore my heart open more than anything because I love both of those movies.
I personally believe that the best movie is Beginners. Got that guy who was in Winnie the Pooh and was in Stormborns.
Oh, Ewan McGregor?
Yeah. It's got Ewan McGregor, this French girl, whose name I would know. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And, I look it up, because there's also a guy whose name is popular.
Google it.
It's got Ewan McGregor, Melanie Laurent.
Oh, yeah, Melanie Laurent. You got that right.
There's an accent.
Laurent.
Melanie.
Yeah.
No. Meh.
Oh.
The meh part.
I'm pretty sure it's still spelled Melanie.
I think it's,
or pronounced
well,
Melanie.
it's an E accent. E accent aigu.
What did you call me?
It means the E is pronounced A. But it's her and then Christopher Plummer's in it. And
okay.
It's about a guy who basically moves home. I think we're fucked.
Oh. It's okay. Well, let's get us back. What's happened is we've been in the Discord call for more than 5 minutes by ourselves.
Can they still hear us?
Okay. Yes, they can still hear us.
Oh, good.
We're back now. Oh, wait. Not yet. Okay. There we go.
But it's about this guy who moves back home because his father is dying of AIDS. And, like, he kind of reflects on, like, his life and his relationship with his mother. And, like, how her life was influenced by his father being closeted for most of their marriage. And then that also then reflects on his relationship. A really good movie. I don't think I've ever shown it to you.
No.
And I'm going to probably force you to sit down and watch it.
Okay.
That's a movie I will stand by till the end of time. It also makes me cry a little when I watch it.
Trying to think. We have some time. Trying to think of more movies that I didn't think I'd like, but I really did. I didn't think that I would like. Well, there was one that's like at the top of my list that I did not think I would like at all. Oh, I didn't think I'd like Hot Rod.
Oh, Hot Rod's a fucking blast.
Hot Rod is fantastic. Go watch Hot Rod if you're uncultured. Miriam said anything with Ewan McGregor is a great movie. It really is.
If you have not seen this movie, Miriam, absolutely should. It is. I personally think I've seen quite a lot of Ewan McGregor movies, and he's trying a lot of. This movie is a banger. It's sad.
It's a banger. It'll make you fucking cry.
It's sad, but it's like one of those movies that like.
She loves beginners.
Oh. Well. It's one of those movies that like no matter how many times I watch it, I can like sit back and watch it. I'm just like.
Have you watched Big Fish? That's a Ewan McGregor.
I tried to watch it as well as I tried to watch Moulin Rouge. But I was dating a guy and then we broke up and those were like his two favorite movies and I was like, this is trash.
No, Big Fish it's not amazing in my opinion, but it will make you cry. Oh yeah. Big Fish is so fucking sad. It is great. It is a great movie. What's another Ewan McGregor movie? Star Wars. Make you cry. Let's see. I didn't think I'd like Monty Python, the Holy Grail, to be honest. I thought I'd hate it. I don't know. Didn't think I'd be into British comedy.
You know what you'd really like?
Hmm.
The Pink Panther, the originals.
Not the one with Steve Martin.
No, not the one that we saw a poster in a movie theater for like 5 years after it came out.
Yeah.
But there's this one scene where he's like, I don't know why he's like, I think he's French in it.
Yeah, Jacques Clouseau.
Yeah, Jacques Clouseau. So he's French, and I don't know who the fuck plays, but there's this one scene where he's like at this hotel and there's a dog laying on the ground and he's like, "Your dog bite?" And the guy's like, "No, my dog doesn't bite." And he goes to pet the dog and the dog bites him. And he's like, "You said your dog doesn't bite." And the owner's like, "That's not my dog." And it was like, I was on the fucking floor. Oh, we almost just held hands.
What's the original Pink Panther? When did that come out?
70s maybe?
It wasn't live action, was it?
Yeah.
Was?
Yeah.
I'm having so much because the only live action movies that come up are the Steve Martin ones. Unless it's like Pink and the Clink. Pink Panther. Oh wait, there we go. Here we go. I got it. It was Peter Sellers.
Oh, Peter Sellers. Yeah, he's a fucking laugh riot.
Peter Sellers is great.
I could rewatch all the Pink Panther movies.
Oh, Doctor Strangelove, he was in that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah, Doctor Strangelove is fantastic. But
I watched Doctor Strangelove in such a bad mood that I think I need to
yeah,
be in a better mood.
we should watch it together because I could do with another watch.
Bless you.
But that's all the questions that we have. Liz, would you like to close out the show?
Yeah, sure. You tuned in tonight. It's been a rough one. And if you tune in the future, I'm sorry. Please tune in, I guess, on Monday. I guarantee you by next Monday, we will not have any restructuring plans settled, figured out at that point. So probably do our Monday Night Raw podcast like normal.
We just gotta restart the router. We gotta restart the router.
Of the podcast?
Oh! I thought you were talking about
No.
like the camera, the freezing. Okay.
I meant restructuring as in like, do we keep doing WWE podcasts?
I mean, in terms of performance, you look at that. AEW on YouTube has no views.
Well, also, but like, how many views did our first WWE podcast have?
14.
Okay. Anyways,
Um.
it's been a year now, so it's in a year it got 14 views.
Meanwhile, Raw gets 21.
Great. That's the reason we're doing it. Or makes us miserable or not.
Our biggest one was from this past June, 38, when Samoa Joe came back.
Anyways, we probably won't have anything figured out by next Monday, so we will be doing our Monday night podcast, as per usual, with Raw, talking about Raw and enjoying Raw. Love Raw. Watch Raw, so you don't have. I have a migraine.
The best way to tell us that you don't want us to do our Raw podcast is to subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the more we'll see we should switch to AEW.
Or you know, just.
Well, no, we're going to take every subscription, every donation, and say, and take that as a ticket, as switch from Raw to AEW.
Or you can just...
That's what we're going to do.
Or you can just tell us. Or you can just tell us that you want us to do more AEW podcasts and not Raw anymore.
Why are you trying to throw away free money?
I respect our viewers. They are friends of the show.
If they want to subscribe, I mean, it's up to them.
Right.
Thank you all so much for watching.
All of this is blurred.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to check out all of our previous episodes, catch up on some wrestling, our YouTube is the Our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. Follow and subscribe here. You can get access to all of our past episodes for the past 2 weeks if you subscribe on Twitch. Catch up. You don't have to wait for me to upload it to YouTube. You can just watch it on the Twitch VOD. Our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I am at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you on Monday for Monday Night Raw. And we hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe and take a break from some wrestling, please.
Touch grass.
Not the canvas.